Hi, welcome to our classroom today. We're going to be talking about differentiated learning. Teachers who practice differentiation in the classroom may design lessons based on students' learning styles. They group students by shared topics, interests, and ability for assignments. They also assess students' learning using formative assessment and manage the classroom to create a safe and supportive environment. Here's an example of what differentiated learning is.
Alrighty, that was a good movie. I like that. I think it's a pretty good representation of the novel. One of the better adaptations. What I want you guys to do is to get out a sheet of paper and write down 5 similarities between the book and the movie and 5 differences between the movies and the book. So 5 things you thought were the same, 5 things you thought were different between the two, and we'll go over them when you're done and go. Give you guys a little bit of time for that. And I'm just going to be over here. So 5 things 5 things that were the same, 5 things that were different. And we'll do a review. Oh, that's funny.
Hey, Mr. B.
Yeah.
Are we going to be comparing and contrasting these later on?
Yeah, I think, we're going to, yep. That sounds like a good idea. Hey, get to work over there, please. Stop talking. 5 things, that's all you gotta do. 5 things you thought were the same, 5 things you thought were different. Okay. Alrighty, hopefully you guys have some ideas now. Kathleen, what do you have for us?
What do you mean?
5 things. Give me one thing you thought was the same.
I didn't have a pen.
Kyle, what do you have? Would you not do that in my class, please?
It's fun.
Similarities, I got the fight scenes were similar
Okay.
throughout the novel and the movie. And one of the differences was also the ending was a little different.
Okay. Yeah, I thought the same thing. It was a little bit softer. It wasn't, a little Hollywoody. Kathleen, did you write those down?
What?
Either of the things he just said? Have you done any of this assignment in the last couple of minutes we've been sitting here? He's done. You haven't got anything going.
I don't really know what you guys are talking
All right.
about.
How about this? You, Kyle, just chill out. Just hang out over there and wait. We'll be ready in a second. Can you just give me 2 of each then, please?
Of what? This.
2 similarities, 2
Yes.
differences. That'd be good
Yes.
enough for you.
She's only going to do 2?
Listen, just don't worry about it. You just sit there. I'll be with you in a second.
I'm doing the best I
I
can.
do all this work and you get to do half of it?
Listen, I really
It's
don't want to
easier
hear
for
it.
you.
I don't want to hear it. Both of you,
Okay.
knock it off. I don't want to
You
hear
know
it.
what?
This is unreal.
This is so unfair.
Why is she held to a different standard than me?
Because
This-
I'm the teacher,
Oh,
that's the way
you're
it's going to
so
be.
smart.
Knock it
No,
off.
no,
Listen,
no,
hands
no.
up.
As you can see, Kathleen was not getting what she needed, nor was our student Kyle. How can our teacher implement differentiated learning? For the teacher who is differentiating instruction, they're creating a platform of success for all the students right from the beginning. For the visual learner, there is a graphic organizer. For the auditory, a step-by-step instruction. And for our kinesthetic learners, they have hands-on activities to get them engaged.
Alrighty, well, we just finished the movie for The Outsiders. I liked it. It's kind of cool to watch all those young stars before they were famous. I mean, the list is crazy. One of the things I want to do today is work on comparing and contrasting. And I think a great way to do that is comparing and contrasting the differences and the similarities between the book and the movie, The Outsiders. So what I've done here to start with this, in your iPads, if you go to iTunes U,
Thank you.
you're welcome. What you'll see in today's assignment is a sheet that looks very similar to this one, with a spot for a list for similarities, a spot with a list for differences. You'll see that there's been one example provided for each one. I'll give you guys a couple seconds to get this all fired up here. When you open the assignment, you'll find there's an example for each one. And what I'm looking for you to do is just make a list of things that you found similar between the movie and the book and things that you found different between the movie and the book. So take a few minutes, try to think those over. You'll see here, Kathleen, there's an example of each one there. Good, Kyle, you're open to that too. So if you guys could just try to think of a couple more similarities for each, couple of differences, and submit those to me when you're done.
So as we see, we have a teacher who's much more engaged with our students. We have students who are able to engage and interact with technology. They feel confident. We have our student Kathleen, who's a kinesthetic learner, and she's also very artistic. So we've given her a way to doodle to keep her engaged and on task in class. We've also given them a graphic organizer that they can use with some prompts already implemented into the lesson with keywords available for
You
you.
guys have had about 5 minutes here to think this over. Kyle, would you like to come to the board and write one similarity for us between the book and the movie The Outsiders?
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Yes.
Pay attention. If you don't have this down, you can write down this example that he's putting on the board.
Okay. So Kyle always gets it right.
Good person to write something down with.
Hey, listen, babe.
All right, fight scenes were
Similar.
similar. Good, I'm learning new words every day, I like it. The fight scenes, they were very well done. They were very descriptive in the book, and they were very well shot in the movie. Cool. Everybody always likes the fight scenes. Kathleen, is there any chance you'd like to come up and write one example of a difference? Something that was different between the book and the movie? Can you think of anything?
I don't think mine's good.
It's all right. You know what? Take a shot.
Well, sure.
You got this.
Okay. Thank you.
The ends were different.
Okay, the ending. Yeah, it was kind of a big difference between the two. So, what was different about it? Did you think the end scene didn't really match up with the book at all?
Well, the movie, the way that it ended, was so different from the book because the book had so much more insight, I guess.
Yeah, it was a lot more descriptive, wasn't
Yeah,
Okay.
so I feel like the movie left a lot out.
it? Okay. Yeah, write that down however you see fit, that the movie left a lot out of the ending. That's good.
The movie had less, maybe,
Okay.
detail
Movie had less where?
at the end.
Okay, good,
Had
good.
less detail at end
Good.
than book. Should I do it like that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You sure that's okay?
Yeah, and make that THAN.
Thank you.
It's okay. Common mistake.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, good job.
Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you.
So as you can see, this method gets our students actively engaged in their lesson. We've got our kinesthetic learner up and moving around, engaging with the teacher, getting that one-on-one feedback right away.
Alrighty, how's everybody doing with the lists?
Mr. B, I'm all done.
You're all done? Okay, great. Let's take a look over
Okay,
here.
look at this real quick.
Okay. Yeah, oh good. Ooh, I like that. I never even thought of that one. Very cool.
Can I move on?
Yeah, all right, here's the deal. What I want you and the rest of Team Sharp to do, your lists are looking really good. If you can head over to computer number 1 and you can plug those 5 each, the 10 statements you have, into a 10-sentence paragraph that we talked about earlier. When you're done with the paragraph, give me a ring, let me come over, take a peek at it, and you can start, or you can continue to work on your iMovie trail.
Oh, got it.
Okay? So it'll be about a half hour you'll have at that station. And how are you coming over here?
It's not done yet.
That's okay. All right. Do you remember the scene in the church? Okay.
So we have our on-track students who are going to go ahead and work on their compare and contrast essay. And then over here, we have our OWL group. And this is our group of struggling students. They have an opportunity to have a little more one-on-one instruction with the teacher or TA. And they will be working on a modified version of their graphic organizer and the expectations there. And then when they're finished, they will come over here to the creation station and be able to start working on their poster board. So our on-track students are going to be formally assessed in a different way than our struggling students today. Our on-task student has finished his compare and contrast essay, and the teacher will be able to use a rubric and be able to assess the completion of the assignment and evaluate whether or not the student was able to do it successfully. Here we have our student who was given the opportunity to finish their similarity and difference chart, and then they were able to pick one of their differences and draw it out on a storyboard. From there, the student will put the storyboard into a book creator and create a comic strip from it. And so this student will be formally assessed on whether or not they were able to understand similarity and differences and comprehend it within the context of the book versus the movie. Our teacher who is using differentiated learning techniques is designing lessons based on the students' learning styles. We want to include students who are auditory learners, visual learners, and kinesthetic learners or hands-on learners.
Another key component of differentiated learning is to group your students by shared interest, topic, or ability for assignments in the classroom. Today we had a team owl and a team shark that we separated into the groups because they had the shared ability for assignments, and that way we were able to target their skill level and make the assignments appropriate so that they would be challenged in the classroom, while it wouldn't be too overwhelming, leading to the behavioral issues that we had in our first scene.
We also want to assess students' learning using formative assessments. It's also going to allow us to look at our own teaching styles and see what's effective and what isn't, and change accordingly.
By using differentiated instruction, classroom teachers are able to manage the classroom and create a safe and supportive environment so that all students are engaged in learning. Some of these things include using different stations, allowing movement in the classroom from area to area, that all students are actively engaged throughout the classroom period.
Other techniques that you can use to manage the classroom is to provide your students with coping skills. For example, during our demonstration, our student had anxiety sitting at her desk, so she was provided with paper and pen to doodle, so that way her energy could be maintained and she could focus on the task at hand.
Our teacher would want to continually assess and adjust lesson content to meet student needs. In our session today, our student modified the expectation for our struggling student by changing the outcome from 5 differences and similarities to 2. The student was also given the opportunity to discuss their ideas with the teacher at the board. If you're interested in learning more about differentiated learning and teaching, subscribe for more education excellence at TA3_MLA, at Adirondack_MLA_ELA, at BV English, at MLA Foster SW, at Kyle_MLA.